everyone, Laura Alexander here, welcoming you back to what is going to be my very last video coming to you from Rangeley, Maine. After that, I'll be heading back down to the vineyard and self-quarantining there for a couple of weeks, and then hopefully bringing you more videos and letting you know, those of you who are clients of ours and on our email list, what's happening with the studio moving forward. So as usual, I hope that this finds you all doing well and continuing to hang in there. Today's session is just going to be a straight up mat Pilates workout. So grab your mat and let's get to it. All right. So let's begin with some pelvic tilting. You're going to lie back down on your backs all the way, knees bent. You can choose to keep your feet and knees all the way together here, or bring them hip bone distance apart, right? And then arms nice and long by your sides, and just rock gently through the pelvis. So you can choose to exhale here, really sort of pinning the belly button back towards your spine and the spine to the mat. And then inhale to release, and exhale. And then try to get as much motion through the pelvis rocking as you can without lifting your hips up off of the mat. And let's do one more. Exhale to squeeze the glutes and pull the ribs together and engage the core. And then inhale to release it. On the exhale, bring the knees up into a double knee fold and open your feet and knees so you're in Pilates V. Hands come together behind your head, and it's footwork. Inhale out and in. Four more. Incorporate the breathing, makes the movement easier. And then bird on a perch, feet and knees together, curling those toes away. Upper body is nice and stationary. Controlled movements. Last one here, and flexed feet. Last two here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Legs go out again. Wrap the hands around the back of the legs and bring them apart. Point and flex. Deeply point, deeply flex. So much so you feel the calf muscles recruited and moving, engaging. Stay pointed in the feet, circles a few times each way. Reversing. And then I'm going to have you stay up in the ab curl if it's available to you. Put your head down if not. Legs come together, and you're going to pump and breathe here for the 100. Nice long arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Find that place where you're at your working level, not stressing the back, but still engaged in the front. Still want to feel as if the exercise is challenging. I'm going to take it down to a lower level. Again, very controlled movement. Really the only thing moving are my arms. Let's give it 4 more deep breaths. And last one. Back and down, pulling the knees in. Let's take a moment to completely cross one leg over the other. Whichever leg is on top, you're going to pull to that side and take this nice stretch to the opposite hip. And breathe, always breathing. Breathing is what's going to help us get through this very trying time. And then center back. Deep breathe, breathing again. And appreciating, feeling, and lengthening through the stretch. And let's come back to center here and uncross. Let's roll on up, extend the legs out, and the exercise is going to be roll up. So you can start on your back, or you can start here. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to extend the arms out in front of me. I'm going to say that your feet can either be pointed or flexed here. Do what works for you. And of course, if you've got any back issues, you're going to do this probably with slightly bent knees. And if you've got a mat available to you with a strap, or you can tuck your feet under a piece of furniture, that's helpful too. All right, so here we are. Arms extended out. Let's take a big shoulder roll back so you've really set the muscles in the upper back, and you're going to pelvic tilt. Inhale. Exhale to go all the way down. And I'm going to take the arms up. Wrap the arms around in a circle. Back up to starting. We're throwing some arm work in. Inhale and exhale to round up. And exhale, exhale, exhale. You'll notice I'm not dropping my arms, but I'm going to try to find that parallel place between my upper body and my lower body. Really scooping the abdominals throughout the whole exercise. Up and around. Next inhale, move. Exhale through the sticky part and reach. Inhale. Exhale. Lengthen through the neck. Extend out of the crown of your head. Squeeze the glutes. Stay tight. Hug the center line in your body. Let's do 2 more of these. And last one. And back and down. And down and around. And at this point, arms come nice and long to the mat. Bend the knees, and let's come up. And the exercise is going to be rollover. If this is not available to you, make this exercise small, and here's your modification. Inhale a little away from your center, and exhale to come up. Open the legs, flex the feet, and come down. Swing them back together, and do it again. 3 each direction. You'll know what I mean here when I switch up the leg work. This is what the full exercise looks like. You're going to inhale away. Exhale, come up and over. Open the legs, flex the feet, and inhale to lengthen down through the spine. Away with the legs, together they go, and over. Open, flex, and down. Last one here. And then you will reverse this exercise, keeping those legs apart. Exhale now to lift and come over together and squeeze and flex. 2 more. And last one. And as you roll down, pause here when your legs are 90 degrees. Let's drop a leg down to the mat. I'm going to flex this down foot. I'm also going to flex the up foot and turn this leg out for single leg circle. And inhale, scoop. It's almost as if I'm drawing circles on the ceiling with my heel. 2 more. And reverse. And last 2 again. And 1. Pull that knee in when you're done. And then just let it fall out to the side and open through the hip. And switching legs, both feet flexed again, remember. This leg is turned out. Pull those toes back towards your hip and begin across the midline. Two more again. And reversing. Stretch through the calf. Last 2 again. And 1. Knee in and letting it fall again out to the side. Let's bend both knees in, and from here it is the first of our 3 rolling back exercises. It's called rolling like a ball, so bring yourself into that very tight round ball shape. Bend the knees to pick up your feet and pull the heels close, and lightly grab the front of your ankles with your hands. Pull the heels close to your glutes and then gaze down. Inhale to rock yourself back. Exhale up. I always try to remind you and everyone to let the pelvis move freely here. That pelvic tilt initiates the movement with the inhale and the rock back. 2 more. And then the feet come down, bring the arms behind you, pick up your hips, curl back, and it's the stomach series. So single leg stretch. There's 5 exercises here. Find the breathing. I like to inhale for 2 and exhale for 2. Couple more. We're going to move through it. Both knees come in. Double leg stretch. Reach and pull. So when you reach, really stretch too. And then pull it all back together. Two more. And then legs stay up, or come up, I should say. Head remains up, and it's scissors. You're going to reach high. So at this point, I like to find that place where my arms are straight and the legs are straight-ish. And then you're going to pull, pull, and pull, pull. Bringing that leg and foot to your hands. One more time each leg here. And then hands together behind your head. Start in that 90-degree angle. Take a moment to sort of drop the sacrum towards the mat. And let's lower the legs down on the inhale. Exhale back up. Last 2. And 1. And a little spinal rotation for crisscross. Bend a knee, lift and twist. And twist. Last one each way. And lying back and down. Turn your head. It's a long time, a lot of work for the neck to be up there holding that 8 or 9 pound head. All right, and then coming on up, and the exercise is going to be spine stretch. So you're going to sit with your legs really no wider than the width of your mat. If you're not using a mat and you're just on a rug or something, just bring them a little wider than your hips. And then flex the feet. So there are points of connection that are helpful to find in the mat, beginning first and foremost with your sits bones and really anchoring down through there. And then the next point of connection, hamstrings a bit, of course, calf muscles too, heels pressing down, feet staying flexed. And then you're just going to bring the arms up. And so hopefully you have a nice straight spine. Inhale here, exhale to lift. And as you lift and go forward, press down even more with your sits bones into the mat. And stretch across. Hit that imaginary tabletop here and continue the journey. Coming back, pelvic tilt and stack up. Exhaling over. Let's do 2 more here. And when you're forward again, hold your stretch here. Drop the shoulder blades down your back. Pull gently on the feet. Maybe it's the ankles or the calves or the knees. Big breath. And come on up. And this is a little stretch I like to take at this point in the sequence. I'm going to bend one knee, turn and face you here, and then just keep that leg that's straight, foot flex there. This knee is going to be out and open to the degree that I'm comfortable, but not causing any sort of a weird stretch or injury. Arms are going to come up. And again, I'm still anchored down as evenly as I can possibly be through both sits bones. And then arms are up. Inhale to twist towards that straight leg, and exhale, simply tilt forward. Exhale, 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 exhale. Big, nice stretch. The whole opposite back, side of the back. Inhale, stack that spine up. Exhale, press down through that left sits bone if you're stretching right. 3 more like this. And last one here. Take a deep breath. Inhale to stack up as you switch to the other side. Find your even anchor points. Inhale, twist. Exhale, over. Nice stretching. Nice contracting. I really like this exercise a lot. I think it sort of accesses a lot of points in the body, whether you're engaging or stretching, lengthening, contracting. Stay forward this next time. And a deep breath. And then back up. Good. So back to position. Pretend you've done your last spine stretch forward. We're going to come back to this position and come into open leg rocker, which is the second of the rolling back exercises. All right. I'm going to scoot forward on my mat a bit. And then easiest way to get into this, just slide the hands behind the knees and pick the feet up, and then curl through the pelvis to find your balance just behind your sacrum. And then you can bring both legs up at the same time together like so, or one at a time, whatever works. But again, you're back to just a little bit wider than your mat with your feet and legs. And then keeping your grip, you're going to inhale to rock back, exhale up, sticking your landing. Lifting that chest on the return. Be tall through the spine. And last 2. And 1. And then here you are, up. You stuck your landing. We're going to go into an exercise called teaser from here. Right? You're going to let go. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, roll all the way down to the mat with everything. Scoot back. Good. And then you keep your arms here or bring them up over your head. Legs are glued together. Inhale, sweep the arms around. Exhale up into your V. Coming down with control. Let's do 2 more. And down. And when you are here, we're going to do a little trick, a little fun exercise, right? Keep your upper body under control, outward rotation with the legs. Inhale to crisscross down, exhale up, and just 2 more there. And last one. When you're up, big inhale. Exhale, let's roll down to the mat, bring your arms up over your head, and let's side bend to the left. So grab that right wrist in your left hand, slide the upper body over. It's not rolling off the mat. Walk your legs over, and if you've got the ability to cross that outside leg over the inside, do that. And just really breathe into that nice little crescent moon that you've brought your body into. And then back through the middle, over the other way. 3 breaths here. And then coming back to center. Good. And then from here, let's go ahead and bring the legs up in the air. And the exercise is corkscrew. Make it small again if you've got any issues in your back or you feel that this is not an exercise you have complete control of. So legs come back up into that 90-degree angle. And you're going to point your feet. Glue the legs together. Twist the whole lower part of your body to the direction you're headed. In this way, it's going to be right. And start to lower the legs. Inhale, twist back up left to return the other way. On the exhale. Reverse. Inhale. Now, as you do this, for me, I feel my back wanting to arch up off the mat. You probably can't see it because of my top, but I'm going to work to sort of keep the connection of my back to the mat. That just means I'm going to need to recruit my abs a little more to maintain my form. Last one to the left here. And then we're going to do a couple more each way, adding the jackknife in, the more advanced version. Inhale and exhale up. Reverse, inhale, exhale up. Last one to the right. And then the left. And as you roll on up, it's back into a seated position, this time a little bit wider, and the exercise is saw. So on the saw, we'll do this facing you because it's so much about what goes on in the upper body as much as it is anything else. This is a spinal rotation exercise. So legs are straight, wide, feet flexed, arms out, and at this moment, and I'll keep reminding you of it, anybody who takes classes from me or whom I teach will say she's really pretty fanatical about this, but it adds so much to the exercise for me, and I know that it will for you. So when you're in this position, you're not in this position, and you're not in a wimpy position, you're definitely engaged. And I like to think of it as finding a way to feel this nice opening through the collarbone, this nice stretch across the sternum, at the same time thinking about what's going on directly opposite that in my back, lengthening that space in between the shoulder blades. So that sort of means pretend I'm touching somebody on either side of my fingertips. Nice long arms, nice tall spine. Inhale every time you find yourself in this position, and then exhale, let's go to the right, twist and dive. Now drop those shoulders and continue that stretch between the shoulder blades. Inhale, stack up, down with the shoulder blades and out with the arms. Exhale, twist and dive. Head up. Good. Again, the cue that I had given you earlier about staying anchored through each sits bone, keeping your glutes to the mat, applies here as well. Helpful. Especially when you're in the dive, take your brain to the other side of your body and say, I'm going to anchor down. It's called oppositional work, oppositional energy. Breathe in, fill the body up. Exhale, twist and squeeze all the air out. And we will take it one more time each direction. And back up, and arms come down. Swing those legs together, and the exercise now is going to be swan. All right, so hands on the mat, somewhere near your shoulders. Legs are together behind you. Bring the legs apart if your back is an issue for you. Forehead is down. Inhale to come up. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Take your gaze up the far wall. And exhale to lengthen through the spine to come back down. And again up. Three more. Really open again through the chest. But try to see if you can also stay open, especially on the inhale up in between the shoulder blades. You're just not squishing or compressing things in your back. This next one is your last one. Nice long neck. You are a swan after all. And back down. And then bring the arms around. And then pull the arms back, bending the elbows, and you stop where they're just in front of your shoulders. Pull the abdominals up and in. And this is single leg kick. Kick, 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 kick. So you're going to inhale for several and exhale. We can add a little footwork here too. That's a brain teaser. I've done this in a while. Point, flex, point, and down. Point, flex, point. One more time each side. And down, and we move to double leg kick. So legs come together here. Stack one hand inside the other. Turn your head one direction or the other. Inhale to prepare again. On the exhale, bend the knees 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Inhaling to come up. Out of the way with the head. Kick. 3, times, lift and lengthen. Restack the hands each time you bring them back to your body, so you're not always doing the same thing. Exhale, inhale, inflate. This next one is your last one. And coming up. And when you're up in this position, reach further out with everything, and let's do 10 circles with the arms each way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Reverse, knees off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Feet down, and let's push back and sit into a child pose here. Stretch everything out, open your back, send your breath there. One more deep breath. And then let's come back. And I'm going to have you lay on your back. And I'm going to skip the neck pull exercise today. We're going to go straight into shoulder bridge. So you began this session doing pelvic tilts. You will use those pelvic tilts very much in shoulder bridge. You're going to go back to that place. Definitely have your feet hips distance apart, and think about the second toe on your feet being lined up with the front of your ankle, the knee, and the hip, and then the armpits. So always thinking about working in alignment. Imagine what it is you look like if somebody were above, looking down on you in this position. Four corners of your feet nicely connected. Inhale to begin your pelvic tilt, but continue to bring the hips up, up, and up. And then exhale, drop the ribs, and roll back down through your spine. Release, pelvic tilt away from you if you want to make this dramatic. And then again, inhale. This way it helps you find each vertebra in your spine. Let's do 3 more. I'm going to take a moment before these last 2 to walk my heels a little closer in preparation for what comes next. Next time you have your hips up, leave them up. And let's bring a leg up. 5 times. You're going to inhale down with that leg, exhale up. With the hips still up, switch sides. And then when you plant that second foot down, leave the heel up, bring that other foot in to join it. Let's take the arms over your head and interlace your fingers, and then just press into the balls of your feet as you exhale all the way down. One vertebra at a time through the spine, release the sacrum, and then reach around and hug the knees to you, and hug them, rock a little, and let's roll on up and come over into a plank position. All right, all fours. Always getting the placement of this right, hands under the shoulders and knees under the hips. And then let's come and bring yourself into a plank position. This exercise is called leg pull front. So looking down just for a moment to make sure, once again, you're all lined up, and then find a place to fix your gaze on the mat. And then you lift one leg up, squeeze the glute, drop the other heel, lift it, and down, up. So try to be aware of how high up you're bringing your leg. Try not to keep it too low or too high, but just in line with your hip and your spine. Last one on each leg here. And then we come down, again on all fours, and the exercise is cat-cow. So looking up on the inhale and rounding on the exhale. 2 more. Last one. And then stay on all all fours and really pull your abdominals up and in towards your spine so your back is nice and straight. On the inhale, lift an opposite arm and leg. So in this case, it's going to be my right arm, left leg. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Stretch away from my center. Exhale, down. Lift and lengthen both the arm and the leg. And down. As if you're just really trying to make this one half of a letter X longer and bigger each time. Last one on either side here. Good. And let's do one more cat-cow. Inhaling to look up. And exhaling to round. Good. All right. So let's come back down on your back. The exercise is jackknife. Actually, before we do jackknife, let's do leg pull. So this is the opposite of leg pull front. Still part of the exercise, you're just oriented differently. So legs are stretched out nice and long in front of you. We only do 3 of these. You're going to turn your hands whatever way is going to help you lift your body and stay supported in that lift. So for me, it's going to kind of be out to the sides with my fingers. There's no hard and fast rule here. And then you're going to lift the hips way up. So it's like a reverse plank position. From here, lift one leg up and down. Other one. 3 on each side here. Last one, lift and lower. Lift and lower. Pull back, sit down, reach forward, and let's stretch the back out by grabbing the feet and taking a deep breath. And now we'll move to jackknife. Once again, you find yourself on your back, legs up, 90 degrees. Inhale away from your center. Exhale to go up. Inhale, roll down, away. Exhale up. Two more. And then roll down, come into a double knee fold here, and then prop yourself back up on your elbows. They're not here, but they are backed up here. And you're nice and lifted in your chest again. Legs are up, and this is hip circles. So start to stay anchored through the whole low back on your mat. And you just draw circles. Inhale, exhale. Try not to drop it all through the upper body. Use the length of your forearms to stay supported. And pause when you're here. You're going to bend the knees, and this is called can-can since we're already in this position. Let's do that. So here's how can-can works. You're going to sweep both knees to the right, sweep both knees to the left, back to the right, exhale, kick out. And left, right, left, exhale. Find your obliques here. Kind of a fun exercise. Really twisting that spine, low body. And we finish. Last kick to the left. 2, 3, exhale. Come back to center. Lie all the way back down. Place a hand on each knee to circle the legs around. And the hip sockets a few times each way. Reversing. Good. And then side kicks. Before we get into side kicks, I'd like to do side plank. So you can prop up on the elbow or up on the hand. It's entirely up to you. You're going to bring yourself up into a position where the feet are stacked, and then extend the arm up and just take some deep breaths here. Let's make it 5 deep breaths. Right? Big inhale and exhale. I'll stack my feet here to get my hips right. Really trying to lengthen through the arms as we did in the saw exercise earlier. All the cues I gave you there, you can apply here. Last deep breath. And then coming all the way down onto that hip. Head and hand. Upper body is back, but the feet are forward. And so this hand can remain on the mat in front of you or behind your head. Either way, try to just engage the body, bring everything back into a centered place. Top leg comes up, and inhale forward with the leg, exhale, swing it back. Last two, and one. With that leg back and foot pointed, really squeeze the glute and extend through the hip and do 5 circles each way. Straight leg. 4 and 5. Reverse. Turn the leg out. Go ahead and bring it on top of the bottom leg, and we side kick straight up and down now. Kick up and flex down. Make sure you're not falling back through this hip. And then we develop a leg is really turned out. When you bend this knee, it's pointing to the ceiling as best you can, and come down. Up. Reversing this, up, bend, and really extend, stretch, stretch, stretch. It's about recruiting as many muscles and muscle groups as you can here. And when you've got that leg down and long and the foot is flexed, let's tap the heel in front and toe behind. 2. And it's tight and it's quick and it's small, and it's not with a bent knee, it's with a super straight leg. So you feel that work happening from the hip. Last 2. And 1. Good. And then stack the legs again, pick them up and bring them back. Bring your head down on your arm. And these are the side bends. So flex both feet, really glue the legs together, make sure you're stacked through the hips again. On the inhale, just lift everything up. Exhale, down. So you're really contracting through the obliques. Doesn't matter how high you get. Just put your mind in your body. Figure out what it is you're really using to do the exercise. Last 2 coming up. And 1. Good. Let's take that top knee, bend it, and bring it forward on the mat. Pick up this leg and move it back just a little bit. Palms are together above your head here. You're going to lift this leg up, flex the foot, so really extend out through the calf and the heel. Let's do 10 straight leg circles each way here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Foot comes down. Let's stack the legs again and bring this hand in front of you. We're going to move to the rond de jambe exercise, which is a big circles. Top leg comes up hip height. You're going to inhale, swing your leg forward, and exhale, back and around. 5 circles each way. Does not have to be huge. Work within your capability, work within your level of flexibility. I don't know if that was 4 or 5, but we'll just do 1 more for good measure. And then reversing for 5. Inhale, scoop the abdominals. And last one here. And then let's bend both knees to the front of the mat and pick the feet way off. At this point, I want you to really press down through the outside leg, and then hand is on the hip here. Try to find the psoas muscle with your middle fingers here. Really kind of dig deep. And if you've got your fingers in the right place, you're going to feel a muscle firing, assisting you in this exercise. Inhale, open. Exhale. And last 2. Inhale, exhale, and feet down. Good. Slide that bottom shoulder forward, and let's open the opposite arm out. Turn your head the other way, and let's take 3 deep breaths here. Last one. And come around. And we'll come upright and do the whole thing on the other side. We begin again with the side plank. So find your version of it. Coming on up and begin back in that stacked leg position. Just really reaching up. Deep breaths here. Make sure your hips are stacked. Sometimes it's helpful to imagine you've sort of got an axle or a rod that goes through one hip, out the other. 2 more breaths. And let's lower down into position for the side kicks on this side. Upper body back, feet are forward, hips remain stacked. Hand behind your head if you're at this level, top leg is up. Hold the abs in to swing the leg forward and exhale back. Last 2. And 1. And with that leg extended back there, point the foot a lot, stretching through the hip, 5 circles each way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Leg is turned out, and we're going to kick up and down. Up and flex. Point the foot up, flex it down. Last 2. And 1. And develop A 3 times each direction, up and lower. And reversing, up and slide out and extend on the exhale, up. Make sure this hip isn't falling back. So much to keep track of in Pilates. Good. When you're here and the leg is straight and the foot is flexed, your heel in front and toe behind. Heel, toe. So now you're going to have a little movement through the hip. Maintain some integrity here though. 2 more. And 1. Good. And let's stack the legs. At this point, you're going to bring your head down on your arm, pick up the legs and move them back a little bit in line with you. This hand is here for support for side bends. Inhale up and then down. Last 2. And 1. Good. Palms come together over your head here. Let's bend the top leg. Bring that knee in line with that hip. This leg comes back a bit and foot is flexed down here. Pump it up and down 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Leave it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Legs extended back out again, hand on the mat, and this is the rond de jambe. So this leg comes back up, hip height only, large circles. Inhale to bring the leg up, exhale, and around. You work to keep your balance here and control of the exercise, never losing your core. That's always so important. If they're this small and you can keep it neat, then that's what you'll do. Let's reverse for 5. Inhale and exhale. Healthy hips, happy hips. Last one here. Good. Let's bend both knees to the front of the mat again and feet come off. Again, hand on your hip and find that psoas muscle if you can. Inhale and exhale. This is a deliberate, focused motion. It's not mindless. It matches breathing. Last 2 coming up. And drop the feet down. And let's slide that bottom shoulder forward and open the arm out. 3 breaths. Let's come back around. We'll spin back around. in preparation for an exercise called Seal. Third of the rolling back exercises in Pilates, mat. So this time you're going to bring your hands together, dive them in between your knees to reach around and grab the outsides of each ankle, one hand on each ankle, or heel I should say. And then pick the feet up and really tuck and curl through the low abs and pelvis. You're going to clap the heels together 3 times here. 1, 2, 3. Inhale back. When you're back, clap again. 1, 2, 3. Do it again forward. 1, 2, 3, and back. Head stays off the mat, especially when you've rocked back. Stay in control. Let's do 2 more here. This one. And then come up. Good. We're going to come back over onto our stomachs and then up into our final exercise, which is a push-up. Somehow my mat did a little bit of traveling. All right. So the exercise here is swimming. You're going to lay back down onto your stomach and then bring the legs open, perhaps the width of your mat, maybe not quite so far, and then bring the arms out in front of you. When you're ready, you're going to lift the head, the arms and legs up and paddle the arms and kick the legs and just inhale and exhale. So really focus on the breathing here. It makes the exercise bearable. This is such an important exercise. Last deep breath. Lower everything down and then just place one hand on top of the other, forehead down, bend the knees and just rock them back and forth. The lower legs helps pull the back out a bit. And then come back to a place where legs are straight again. Hands come back on the mat here and toes curled up. You're going to push yourself up into a plank in preparation for 12 push-ups and then we'll be done. So here we go. Inhale to come all the way up. Make sure you've got your head on your spine, hands on your shoulders, and here we go. Inhale to bend. Abs tight. Engage everything. Last 2. And let's go ahead and take a moment and bend that front knee if it's available to you. We're going to take a bit of a pigeon stretch here. Just stretching out that hip. If you want to come down to your elbows here, you can. Another deep breath. This gets into that all-important piriformis muscle in the hip. It's important to keep it stretched. And into the psoas muscle on the opposite side. Together, keeping the health of those 2 muscles will go a long way in helping you move well and feel well. And last deep breath here. And come upright, spin all the way back and around. And once again, everyone, last mat sequence, you did it, did a great job. Thank you very much for joining me. Take care of yourselves, and we will be in touch soon. Thanks.